Just on my way to Nerang National Park, but I had to pull over because I noticed something very interesting that was definitely not here when I left. This path has been here for a long time. It goes along the nature strip down in the forest where I just was. It's actually how you can just follow this path and go down and access the area I was in. I just noticed this sign, "Welcome to Rivergum Park Nature Conservation Area." So yeah, this is actually an official nature conservation area now, Rivergum Park. I'm not exactly sure what the whole situation was, what the previous state of this area was, the nature strip and down into this woodland here. But yeah, now it's an official nature conservation area called Rivergum Park. So, all right, it has a name now, Rivergum Park. Great, that's the place that I love to hang out and where I grew up in. So now I'm going to head to Nerang National Park, hike one of my favorite trails out there, just a short one, really not the full thing, because then I want to actually start hitting the road and drive all the way back to Southern Downs. It's about 3 hours west of here. We've now arrived at our final destination for today. Going to be heading into Nerang National Park, just doing a short part of what is a pretty extensive network of trails, mountain bike tracks that go through the entire national park, which backs onto these parklands. It now seems these areas have become this nature conservation areas, not national parks, that then back onto Nerang National Park, which is an actual national park. And yeah, I saw a sign earlier when I was driving past, and a similar sign up here. This is the name of these parklands. So there's different parklands around nature conservation areas, and the one up here, as you will see, welcome to Fortescue Parklands Nature Conservation Area, City of Gold Coast. So we're going to head down this track, leads to the beginning of Nerang National Park. There's the boundary. This whole experience out here has been very emotional, but like in a positive way, just like remembering, like, you know, good times, bad times. It's like a little bit overwhelming, honestly. I think it's very healthy for anyone to really occasionally take a step back in memory lane, remember who you are, where you came from. Of course, it's like the past is not always sunshine and rainbows. You know, there's good parts, bad parts, and of course, like, we should always cherish and remember the good parts, but not focus too much on them, because then it's like it becomes difficult to be grateful for where we're at now, how we have grown. But then equally, it's not good to dwell on all the bad moments of the past, because that can then trap us in this victim mentality where we feel powerless to do anything about it, powerless to change. And yeah, it's like I've had thoughts coming up of, you know, the good parts, bad parts of my life, good chapters, bad chapters. Everyone has that, no matter what circumstances you grow up in, where you're from. We all have good and bad parts of our life. So definitely, I think it's healthy to occasionally look back without becoming attached and just fixated on the past. Like I don't regret anything, any choices I've made. I've made good choices, I've made mistakes, bad choices. We all have. It's part of being human. But overall, I'm satisfied with where I'm at. I'm content with the path I'm walking. I'm not 100% happy with everything in my life, but just this whole experience has been a great reminder of who I am and where I came from. So very much needed that, a good dose of reality. Nerang National Park. Show you guys the information here. There we go, Nerang National Park. So this is actually a dry, temperate forest, which connects into the other parts of the Gold Coast hinterland. There we go, so we're right here. So up here, that's the area I've been exploring. This is Pacific Pines, and then down here, this is Nerang, the suburb of Nerang, and then there's the main highway there. So this is like Nerang, Pacific Pines. So Yeah, the western part of the Gold Coast, then you've got Maudsley and all these areas. This is pretty much the outskirts of the Gold Coast. Past there is just hinterland, and then it gets to the real rural areas. So it's in the middle here, tucked away, Nerang National Park. And this here, if you're wondering what this is, that's actually a big quarry that is still operating, I'm pretty sure. Backing along this area here, that's the quarry. And thin little strip along there, nature strip, that's a bridge. And down here, where I'm pointing, that's where that secret spot was, because this is the nature strip behind there, between these buildings. It extends further up that way. I was in the middle of there, and then it all goes through here, this gully there, the creek, Saltwater Creek, and connects right to this big national park. So yeah, just from living in suburbia, had access to all that, it was just spectacular. And yeah, then the rest of this here is all this Nerang State Forest, which they have that because, yeah, all the quarry's there. The quarry couldn't operate in a national park, obviously. So yeah, that's what they've done there. Usually I actually entered further up there, walked a few kilometers down this way before coming to this hill. So I'm sort of starting halfway through my usual hike. But if I want to do it something shorter, I enter up there where I did before, come in through this way. Yeah, we call this a steep hill because, yeah, this is a pretty tough hill, pretty long. We'll see how it feels now, given that I've done some pretty tough hikes in my life. But there was another area that's like really very much overgrown now, not really accessible, where there was another hill that was initially called the Steep Hill. Yeah, original. And then this here, eventually when we found it, it became the Steep Hill, because this is was steeper and longer than the other one. So yeah, let's go. Saltwater Creek once again, continuing on. I've explored this way a few times, this way a few times. There's actually a beautiful swimming hole this way, which I'm not going to go to because I don't really have the time. Time is a bit of a luxury. I've got to start thinking about heading back. But man, I'd definitely, man, I could easily spend a long time here, like just a whole week or longer. Definitely, like sometime in the future, man, when work and study circumstances permit, I definitely want to take longer time off and actually spend some time out here exploring, camping, going around more areas of the Gold Coast and just seeing more areas. It's funny, like since moving, I never really thought much about it. I just was very fixated on just moving on and building a new life out there, which I have been doing and am doing. But it's only recently that I just started feeling this sense of just nostalgia, wanting to, I guess, I don't know exactly, not go back to the way things were, but remind myself of where I came from. Because I think a sense of just knowing where you came from, having roots is, I think, very, very important. Like just a tree that doesn't have roots, solid, stable foundation, will not survive and thrive in the long term, and we humans are very much the same. So even though I don't live here anymore, this place will always have a deep significance to me. It'll hold a special meaning, special place in my heart. Do I think I'll ever move back out here? The answer to that question is no. And I'll touch on that in a future video, why I would not choose to move back to the Gold Coast. But for sure, I definitely always want to remember this place. I'll always keep coming back and I won't forget it. It's time to climb. This very first part is the steepest. It doesn't look too intimidating now. When I was really young, I was a young child, this was hard. It was intimidating to me. And then, yeah, I had a few years in my life where I wasn't really that much into hiking and stuff. I wasn't physically fit much at all. So I found this very challenging. But yeah, overall, it's not too bad actually. I can see the top from here, so it's not really actually a steep hill. I mean, the Gold Coast hinterland has a few small foothills. It's really the foothills start pieces of the Great Dividing Range, but Main Range National Park, right backing onto Southern Downs, and of course the other side, Scenic Rim. That's where the highest mountains of southeast Queensland are in. Up north, Atherton Tablelands is higher, but yeah, this is overall like just the start. And then where I live now, like of course we've got much higher hills, and I'm more used to sort of hiking up those than here. I tell you what though, it is surprisingly warm today, although it's probably actually the fact that I've gotten more used to the cold. I'm not climatized to living here anymore, so it does feel quite hot. It's not really hot, it's only like 23, maybe 25 degrees, so not hot, but when you're out in the sun it certainly feels that way. Certainly getting that heart rate up, but once again it's definitely not as difficult as I remember it. Since moving out there, my fitness level has definitely improved a lot, having gotten more into consistent workouts. And even though I haven't actually hiked as much as I have in the past, when I have hiked, I have tended to do the more difficult ones. So yeah, I'm not finding this as challenging as I used to. There used to be a very big tree sent up here, which is the top, but yeah, that fell down a long time ago. There we go. We made it. Definitely not as bad as I remember. So yeah, if you head this way, you'll connect to the whole network of trails that goes through this national park, and this way, which I'm going to be going, just links back to Pacific Pines. So I'm going to be going this way probably another 20-30 minutes. Just a nice little short hike, nothing too big. I've already been going around a lot today. It's mostly dry eucalyptus woodland around here, and then of course you got these monstrosities right in the middle of it. But yeah, that is everything that I wanted to do for today. So I'm going to walk back. I'll have to walk through a bit of suburbia to get back to my car afterwards. But yeah, I think that will be enough for today. I've got quite a lot of footage. I don't quite know how I'm going to structure this, because really I've just been all over the place with filming today. There'll be room for quite a bit of content, which I'm very happy about. And yeah, I've just been really busy once again with uni and work, which has been keeping me away from getting out here, going on hikes. But yeah, I think this will really mark the start of really getting back into this, because I definitely need to set myself more consistent time to really just be out here, do this sort of stuff. Got some plans for my next big road trip coming up. I was actually considering going on a short one next week, but I have actually decided against it now, because with all this traveling that I've done recently, doing stuff up in Toowoomba and traveling here, I think I've sort of had my fill of that for a while. I'll definitely reflect on these experiences, and yeah, definitely plan the next big trip, and of course get back into doing regular content. I keep saying like every few months, I'm gonna get back into making regular content, but I just haven't been. I'm going to try actually my hand at just splitting up the content more, instead of focusing on making these like just long form heavily edited videos. I mean, I want this channel to be one that is more professional and has, I guess, more edits and stuff in it. Nothing too heavy, but I want to try splitting it up into more short form content. Not shorts, no way, I hate shorts. I'm not going to make shorts. Splitting them up a bit more and just focus on being consistent with posting at least once a week. I'd love to post twice a week. I think once a week would be a good goal to aim for. Guys, I'm just on my way back to the car. I went down to Pacific Pines a little bit through suburbia, and now I'm in Fortescue Parklands, where I was driving through before. And look what I just stumbled upon. Someone seems to have got a nice little camping setup here and a nice fireplace. I picked up this rubbish earlier, so I'll add this to the pile since it's flammable. But yeah, this is what I was talking about before at the secret spot that I had. Like just people come down into these parklands, this forest, and just set up things like this, kids or whoever, and yeah, this is what they do. It's a pretty cool setup here on the top here. Nice little chair here. I'm not gonna touch anything, I'll just sit here. Voila! This is what you have. Even got a nice one for if you've got kids. I guess this is a should I? No, that's not, that won't take my weight, but that's a small chair, old carpet. So yeah, right, left an old bottle there, but yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. You find these things just dotted throughout these parkland. People are just coming down in here. Down in the nature spot, they used to have one similar to this, like an old just structure like that, and just a few other things. So that's what I thought I'd show you that and give you an example. That's exactly what I was talking about. Anyway, yeah, I'm just 5 minutes away. Like my car's literally just up there, and yeah, then I'll gotta fill up petrol after all that driving I've been doing. I haven't eaten much today, only a few pieces of fruit and biscuits in the morning, so I might get myself a quick sandwich or something, and yeah, then we'll be off. Don't forget my backpack, and then yeah, see you all next time.